I want about you. And in this one, we're going to look at this EGR. Okay, this is a Pierberg EGR, and it's on this is on a manifold, but it's commonly found on a 1.9 Vauxhall engine, and that engine is in Alfas, Saabs, wee Suzukis, Vauxhall Opels, Vectras, Astras, stuff like that, and both on the 120 horsepower and the 150 horsepower, so that's an 8 valve and a 16 valve CDTI turbo diesel engines, and these things are a devil for sticking. Right, we'll bring this in the shot here. Let dog see the rabbit. Right, there we go. Now, a lot of people probably take these off and clean them out if they get EGR fault codes, and you know, they clean this bit out here. Now, this is pretty carboned up, but and that may indeed stick. There's no doubt about that. But you can test that easy. We'll see that later on. But the main problem with these is it's actually the solenoid itself that sticks. And 9 times out of 10, you can fix them. You can resurrect it, and away you go again. You don't have to buy a new one. Cleaning that out, yes, clean that out anyway. But you know, it still won't work. Usually, it still won't work, and it's the problem's in there. And yeah, forgot to say they're on Fiat engines as well. But anyway, now I know a lot of people will probably say, I'm anticipating the comments here, just blank it off and all that there. Well, that doesn't fix this problem, and you'll still will get an EGR code. And alright, you can say, I'll map it out or something like that, but that's not remapping. So I'm going to have a go at fixing this. I'm going to show you how to do it, actually. And doesn't take too long. It's pretty easy enough taking off as well. So first things first. Okay, there's only 2 pins in this. So way down the bottom there, it's labelled number 1 and number 5. There's only 2 pins. Number 1, which is closest to the flat part of the connector, is a permanent live. Now that's according to the wiring diagram. I haven't got the car here, so this was taken off and thrown to the side ages ago. So this has been sitting for donkey's ages, and but as far as I can tell from the wiring diagram, that should be a permanent live, and it'll be ground side switched. So it's just an energized 12 volt solenoid. So we're going to do a couple of tests here first of all, and I'll just show you a couple of tests. You could do this on the car, you know, because if these tests come out bad, then you know not to bother taking this off and trying to do this, you know. So we're going to start with a quick resistance check. So there we go, there's on resistance. We've got our leads. So I'm going to show you a wee invention here that I made. So take those crops off. Now, those meter leads don't fit into there because that's shielded and that's shielded, and it don't fit. So you can buy these wee boys from Fleabay. They're about £1.50 for 2, and they fit in. So they're female to female, you know. So, and then I have manufactured wee banana joints. So there's a lot of times when I'm connecting leads up and stuff, you know, I sort of find the need for these, and yeah, so cost practically nothing to make them. So they're just 2 4mm bananas, joined together, but a heat shrink on them. So they're drilled out, and there's wire that goes right through from one side to the other side to give it a bit of rigidity, and then they're filled with solder. So that's all that's going on there. So polarity here doesn't matter, doesn't make any difference. What have I got? 8 ohms. Well, that's a good test to do, because if that was 0, then that means that solenoid's a dead short, and if I put 12 volts on it, I'm going to get a dead short. So at least there's a bit of resistance there, and we're not going to have any great mishaps. So we'll get rid of that. So I have two wires here connected to a car battery beneath me, and that's a negative, and we're going to see, oh, we're getting a wee bit of a spark. So that's a good sign. So what we can also see, it's a good sign in the fact that, you know, this solenoid is intact, it's not completely burnt out. Now, whenever you do that, you expect to hear this thing clicking. You know, you expect that plunger to move in and out, and you know, some sort of movement in the solenoid. So that tells me this solenoid's stuck. So, or it could be the plunger stuck, but I know it's that. So I'll just see if I can do a bit of prestidigitation here. It's a big word, isn't it? So we're getting something there. Ah, there we are. So that's our magnetic flux indicator. That is not a volt stick. So I showed that before in a previous video, and that's pretty good. It tells you if solenoids are energized or not. Doing our wee quick test here. Measure the current. See if there is any current. 0. Okay, put that on there. You see that? Bottom of the screen. 1.5 amps. Okay, so there's current flowing, so there's a circuit there. So all those wee dopey tests are just telling me that it's worthwhile proceeding with this. Right, well, scoot this off dead quick. Come off, bolt. So a couple of Allens. And let's see now, what have I got here? Couple of 13s or 1/2 inch. There we go. So there's our EGR off. Now we can see how we look inside it here. Just turn the light on. And it's not totally kicked up, you know, but we'll see if we can move that plunger. There's a wee spot here you can just grab up with pliers. Right, don't need this bit. Get that out of the way. So yeah, plunger's moving. It is a wee bit sticky. Let me see. You see that? Okay. Right, we've got our device, as you can see, and we're gonna get these 4 Torx screws out. Now, it may be worthwhile giving this a bit of a mark, so you know what way it goes back on again. So let me just do that now. Okay, we'll give it a wee scrape here. So there's a wee cut out there, but there's one on the other side as well. So we'll give that a bit of a scrape. And we'll put a wee mark on it as well. Just put another one there. Oh, you know, we'll continue on, take these off. Okay, Starting to get there now. That's us now, as they say, in this part of the world. That's us now. I'm going to take her off, and there's our wee plunger, and that is solid. I'll have a wee look in here. So your carbon's getting past there, and so you need to clean it all out in there as well, and as well as in there. But I'm not going to do that. The main bit's this solenoid. So scoot this face back in a wee bit, so it'll sit on top here. What I've done off camera there was I've drilled a hole in the top of it, and you can see I've drilled it a bit big. I used a 6mm, no, that's a 5mm drill bit initially, and I widened it out a wee bit so we can get a good heavy punch in there. Now, you maybe don't want to just drill it out as much as I did there if you're going to reuse this. This is for demonstration. This is going to go in the bin. I'm never going to reuse this. But as soon as I took the thing apart, I saw it's really bad, this one. But we'll use a bit of brute force and ignorance. So you can just about maybe see an outline there of the inside of that solenoid, if I can keep you in the light. So it's that what we're trying to push out, and that's the wee pin that goes in and out whenever the solenoid's energized, and moves the plunger, and that is just stock solid. There's nothing happening there with that at all. So this one is really bad because of all that rust there. So I'll maybe give that a wee bit of a scrape, maybe a bit of WD-40 in there, and hopefully what we're going to do is we're going to stick it in the vase, put our punch in the top like so, and hit it a few whacks. Right, here's the update. I was whacking away at it there, and I've broke a bit off the end, and this one is beyond salvation, to be honest with you. But this is okay. This is quite good. This will show you what you're up against, and you know, if you can't do it. Now, what I ended up doing, I've already had this wee thing out. What I ended up doing was putting the punch in and putting that in the press to get that to move, and it just popped. So I've put it back in again. I'm now going to put it in the vase and demonstrate to you what way you're hoping that it's going to go. This thing is totally goosed, but it'll give you an idea of, it'll still show you what you need to do. Well, this one here's totally banjaxed, but we might get it working again, you know. And this is what you're wanting to do anyway. Sometimes these come out pretty easily, a couple of taps and they come out. Sometimes, like this one, it just was goosed, you know. So I can feel her going. And you want to take her easy, because there's a couple of wee springs in here that you don't want to lose. So it's coming out nice and easy there. There we go. Right, we'll just leave it at that. Okay, so here's where we're at now. So that there has now protruded out, and hopefully it'll come out the rest of the way. And there's a wee spring in there, a wee tiny wee spring. I'll put this light on here. You see that wee spring in there? And that sometimes that sticks on there, and if that comes out, falls on the floor, spring gone. Ask me how I know. So we'll try and see if we can get that wee spring out. Nah, not gonna come out. Right, anyway, this centerpiece then, we need to get that centerpiece out now, but we can just stick it on the deck like that, and hopefully get her to move. So let's see, get her punch back in again. They are racked housing here. I'll get her out. That wasn't too bad. That can be very sticky sometimes as well. So that's what we're hammering onto, was that, you know. But you don't want to drill a big hole that I did and end up breaking the housing, because this return spring then is nothing to catch onto. You ideally want to drill like a 4mm hole or a 5mm hole, no bigger, you know, just in the middle of that end cap, and maybe a smaller punch than that. But I had serious diffs with this one, and you can see there's a spring in there. So we're going through the middle of the spring and down in with a punch onto that. So there's a wee tiny wee spring in here, and I'm going to see if I can hook it out. I'm going to use the plunger to see if I can pull it out. So let's put a wee bit of, there we are. And there she blows. That wee by air. So set that aside. And this thing here, then, there's nothing really in that. So that goes onto that and goes in, fits into there with that spring in the middle. And that there comes in now. Now, with all that hammering I did, that's actually loosened that up, and it looks a bit mushroomed at the end. You see? So it actually looked bent as well. So I had to do a hell of a force to get that out. It's basically wrecked, but what I'm going to do, I'll dress that end up and pull that out. That should just pull straight out. Near enough is. Now you can see it's bent. Keep you in focus. Yeah. So, well, we'll see if we can get this working anyway. Now, to give that a wee dress up there, a small dress up with a file, and I ended up having to put a small punch in it there, and punched it out the rest of the way. So on yours that should just slide out, you know, but there's the other problem there. If you can see, there's a bend in it. Alright, I've given it a bit of a file and a bit of a straighten up. It's a lot better than what it was, and it's going in and out of there now. So wee bit of a clean out in there maybe, a wee bit of grease, you know. You can see there's a lot of muck in there. So, but it's probably free enough for a demonstration. Okay, here we are a bit further on, and there's that wee plunger. So that's the thing that moves about in that solenoid, and that's well, one of the reasons, if not the main reason, why this thing wasn't working. So we want to get that. You can see this is all pitted here still. You know, it's pretty bad. It was a bit mushroomed with all the hammering I did at it, so I just dressed it up with file, and that's fine. That's just a steel pin. So we want that, so it goes into that bore, and with no resistance at all, nice and free. So there was a bit of rust. This is just rusted solid, this thing. So there was a bit of rust up in there, and I got my wee finger up in, bit of WD-40, and I got a wee small half round file and give it a wee bit of a dress. Not too aggressive, you know. And that's got it in the usable condition anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a wee taste of wheel bearing grease in this. Now, you don't necessarily need to put dielectric grease or anything around it before somebody says, oh, you need dielectric grease for that. This is just a steel plunger, so there's no electrical contact. This is an electromagnet, and this just it just makes this bit of metal move, really. So we have dressed that up. I've dressed that up a wee bit, not too much. You want to do yours a wee bit better, maybe, you know. And put that into there. So as long as that can move nicely. Remember our wee tiny wee dopey spring. It's dead easy to lose. Ask me how I know. And it's been ages trying to find out. We'll put that into there like that. So that's it, ready to go together. Now this here's a tricky bit. So we get this spring here back up in there again. So it's gonna set off at an angle, but your hole that you drilled, I have a super big hole that shouldn't be so big, but we'll get that up in. See if we can do this. So get that up in, and that holds that spring central for you. And we get that up in onto the end of the punch, and that'll go in quite nicely. And my spring is going to end up protruding out, but if you drill a small enough, you know, not too big, not too wee, enough to get it out. But if you do what I did, well, you could put up something over that maybe, but this one's kind of goosed. So what's going to happen now is that goes onto a plate, which was on that way, and I'll give that a wee bit of a rub up. And whenever we screw that down, that'll press that in, but we'll just help it on its way here. So it's just a bit of a press fit. We'll just help it on its way with a wee socket. And there we go. Job's a good one. And you can see the pin now is, oh, look at that there. That's amazing. So I'll give this a wee bit of a scrape, and we'll get our screw back there again. So on yours you want to give all that a good clean out there, but this plunger, that's moving enough for a demo, so I'm not going to bother doing all that. And we can see by the dirty marks what way that goes there, and then we'll have a wee tip axe mark on it, and that goes onto there like that. We'll get her screwed down. Right, that's us back there again. And what it did, guys, that we didn't show you, but what you want to do with yours is that plate and those faces, you want to give them a good going with a bit of sandpaper or something. That's P60 there. So a bit of 60 grit, and just get all the rough off it. So if there's any build up between that, if that distance is too much, the plunger doesn't, you know, it won't move far enough, and it won't open the plunger. I didn't clean any carbon out of it hardly at all, but I did put a scoot of WD-40 down in that side before that I put the solenoid on, just to get that moving a bit better. So it was moving, it was a bit sticky, but we got her going. So I was just wondering what that banging was there. It's the lead. Right, so working great. There's the lead off. These are too short for this, but here we go anyway. That's a good solid clunk out of it, and let's see if you can get the end of there some way. Hold on. Hey, you maybe will see that. So that's with no carbon cleaned out there at all, really. I just scooped a bit of WD-40 in it on the plunger side. So as I said, so just a wee bit when it was open, either side, just to get this thing working for the demonstration. And I'm going to put a wee controller on it here, just to put it into a wee bit more control. Right, I have a wee PWM controller here, and it's not going to make all the clunking noises that it was with a straight 12 volts. So I'm just going to be able to control it. So we'll get you in on that maybe a wee bit better. See if you can see that. No, you can't really see it. Aha! There we go. So if you put a straight 12 volts on it when it's on the car, you're expecting to hear that clunking noise, and that's it, giving you an idea that it's working. So that's what I was doing there. Maybe you'll see it. There we go. So as I say, clearly you want to give it a clean out with the carbon there, and yeah, this particular one now I have well, it's not going to be usable because I've just wrecked that top bit there, but you know, you do want to drill like a 4 or 5 mil hole and then just mix a wee bit of JB weld up or something and put it over the hole, because you don't want any moisture getting in there. That's what it's just, as you saw, the cause of failure is the plunger just rusts solid internally there, and that's what the problem is. So there's probably a whole stack of vids on the YouTube and whatever else, and you know, it'll show you taking this off and clean it out. That does basically nothing, so that's a bit of a waste of time, and people probably end up just putting a new one on and call it a day. And blanking it off doesn't solve the electrical problem. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. That's going in the bin, but well, it works. And that was just a demo, just to show you what the crack is with those. And yes, it is a Fiat engine, but it's mostly common in the Vauxhalls. So hope you enjoyed that. I'll take a big Thor hammer out of the way. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and all the best, and bye bye.